Hello and welcome to the Beyond Biotech podcast number 59. I'm Jim Cornell and this is the weekly Labiotech podcast, and it's going out on August the 18th, which is Indonesian Constitution Day, Couples Day, Fajita Day and Hawaiian Shirt Day. Certainly feeling for those in Hawaii affected by the fires that have ravaged Maui. And now there are some fires threatening the city of Yellowknife, the capital of the Northwest Territories in Canada, with the city being evacuated. Let's hope it's all over soon. Today is also World Breast Cancer Research Day, and it's cancer that's the focus of the podcast this week. Since its inception in 2012, World Lung Cancer Day has been observed every year on August the 1st in order to raise awareness of lung cancer issues and magnify the need for more lung cancer research funding. Around 250,000 people in the US alone will be diagnosed with some form of lung cancer in 2023, and more than 125,000 people in the US will die from the disease this year. Another pretty awful stat is that 1 in 16 men and 1 in 17 women will be diagnosed with lung cancer at some point in their lifetime. And lung cancer kills 3 times as many people as breast cancer or prostate cancer. However, there are some positive trends. The number of new lung cancer diagnoses is declining steadily. Since 2006, the incidence rate has decreased by 2.6% per year in men and 1.1% for women. Mortality rates are declining as well because of advances in treatment and early detection. And it's early detection that we're discussing today because we'll be hearing about a new diagnostic tool developed with AI at the Sheba Medical Center in Israel, and it can make a huge difference to the amount of time it takes for diagnosis. To tell us all about it is Professor Iris Barshak, head of the Pathology Institute at the Sheba Medical Center. Okay, to get started, I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I'm Iris Barshak. I'm a professor of pathology and the head of the Institute of Pathology for the last 17 years at Sheba Medical Center. In addition, I'm the chair of the Israeli Association of Pathologists. Since 2019, we did a transformation in our Institute of Pathology, moving to digitalize and scan all our slides. So actually in a few months, we make this institute fully digitalized and we are scanning 100% of our slides. Our pathologists are signing out by digital pathology, and they have working stations at the offices in Sheba and also at home. This was a miracle because it was just before the pandemic of COVID-19, and we could give the best service for the hospital concerning diagnoses during the pandemics. Soon after the transformation to digital pathology, we started to work on algorithms based on AI tools to identify biomarkers that actually are relevant for the treatment of patients. After a few months of working by digital pathology, we developed with collaboration with startups in Israel some solutions to support our decisions in pathology. Our focus in the Institute of Pathology at Sheba Medical Center is mostly how to identify biomarkers. The first challenge was non-small cell lung cancer. We actually worked with Israeli startup companies to solve precision medicine challenges. One of the first one is imaging. And we actually worked with them how to identify directly from the hematoxylin and the eosin slide biomarkers. The first one was ALK and ROS translocation, which are relevant for the treatment of metastatic non-small cell lung cancer. And we got very good results that were published in Modern Pathology last September. Nowadays, we are expanding our panel of biomarkers that can be evaluated directly from the hematoxylin and eosin slides, and we are going to present and publish those results soon. Recently, we did a very important step by deployment and implementing the algorithm into our workflow. So the pathologist, immediately after having the hematoxylin eosin slide in their computer, can run the algorithm and have a very quick indication for the relevant biomarkers which are positive in the tumor. The first work is about non-small cell lung cancer, and we are using an algorithm that was developed by Imagine AI, which is a startup company, in our platform. The algorithm works on the slide immediately and give us an indication within few minutes. This is a very dramatic change since most of the patients who have metastatic non-small cell lung cancer, they wait for the results of wide panel of NGS. In Israel, it is mostly more than 500 gene panel. This takes about 2 to 3 weeks usually. And now we can give an indication to start the treatment very quickly after a few minutes. And later, usually we are doing a validation for the positive results in few hours. So this actually a very important change for their chance of those patients. Actually, we can shorten the time to diagnosis and the time to treatment from few weeks to few hours and give those patients a chance to get the treatment they deserve. So actually, I can also describe few cases that we already could see that they respond to the treatment that they usually could not get in this time. I can describe a patient that came with a metastatic disease of non-small cell lung cancer with a very unique and rare metastasis into the eye. The clinician wanted to take a biopsy from the region of the ocular lesion. However, they found by a CT scan and PET CT that the main lesion is lung cancer, and they sent us a core needle biopsy. After it went out of the lab with the slide of hematoxylin and eosin, we had an indication by the algorithm in few minutes that the tumor actually has a EGFR mutation. This is a well-known mutation in non-small cell lung cancer, and we could validate the mutation in a very rapid test in our lab. So after 2 hours, I could call the oncologist, and he could actually start the right treatment for this patient. Unfortunately, about almost 30% of the patients that come with metastatic non-small cell lung cancer would not survive the 3 weeks of wide panel sequencing for the diagnosis. So by this algorithm and AI tools, we can shorten the time to diagnosis and therefore to treatment, and actually give those patients a good chance to get the therapeutic management they need.
So I guess early diagnosis is critical in this case.
Yes, we are dealing with metastatic disease mostly of non-small cell lung cancer, and this is, as I said, about almost 30% of those patients they might die in the first month after the diagnosis of non-small cell lung cancer. At this time, usually they should wait for the sequencing of the tumor that gives the oncologist the data which is needed to adjust the treatment. Now we can do it in few minutes, and doing the validation of the positive results in few hours. So many of those patients actually can start and get the treatment that without this algorithm was not possible, and they should wait for few weeks. So this is a very important change, since those patients can start getting the treatment very soon after we have the hematoxylin and eosin slide. And this is very simple to implement, since the algorithm is working on hematoxylin and eosin slide with no need for additional stains. And then after we have the indication for the positivity of the biomarkers, we can do validation by very quick laboratory test.
Excellent news for people that have this condition. Is this something that will be able to be extended to other facilities?
Yes, of course. This is the change, which is very important to develop algorithms, AI-based algorithms that can work on the hematoxylin and eosin slides only and indicate biomarkers very quickly. We have developed a few algorithms in our own research lab in Sheba Medical Center, mostly concerning breast cancer and brain tumors, and there are additional other types of cancer that are under study now. So I believe that those decision support tools will be able to be implemented and deployed very soon, and would change the work of the pathologists.
How has the artificial intelligence been developed to be able to bring this? It's quite a big leap forward.
The artificial intelligence is based on the images that are gained during the scanning of the slides, of the pathological slides. We develop those algorithms in collaboration with startups in Israel, and also with data scientists in our research laboratory for digital pathology. I believe that in the next few years there will be dramatic changes in the development of new algorithms for this support of decision of precision medicine.
And how will this be extended to other universities, medical centers, so that this can help people globally, I guess?
We are working with academic institutions in Israel and also internationally, also in the United States. And I believe that we are in the end of signing a few agreements for validation and deployment of those algorithms outside Israel. I believe that those algorithms are going to have an impact on this diagnosis and also on the treatment of patients, and hopefully other institutes would like to use those algorithms in their workflow.
Is it something that is cost effective to do? Because sometimes these things are really expensive and it only benefits a small amount of people.
So actually, there are a few advantages. First, the algorithm works very quickly and it's not expensive to use it. Second, there are other things that can be saved. The cost of additional molecular markers and genomic data can be saved after we can find positive results for some of the biomarkers. this is going to lower the cost of many additional tests that are done in the laboratory. In addition, for the patient's sake, we also can work on a very small amount of tissue, and therefore we can use very small biopsies for evaluation. Usually those small biopsies are used for too many molecular and genomic evaluation, and sometimes there is a need to do additional biopsy because first biopsy is with a small amount of tissue. So we can use the tissue and the slide better than it was before and save cost and also save tissue.
And I guess if you're diagnosing early, then there are savings because you're able to treat earlier and help people better than in the past.
This is the main issue, of course. As a doctor, I think about the patient and how I can give the more accurate and quick diagnosis to those patients and actually give them a better chance and predict the response to treatment and shorten the time to diagnosis and to treatment.
Are there any other things that you're working on in a similar area?
Yes, we are working on other ideas. For example, we are working on a new field of pathoradiomics in which we integrate two different data lakes of pathology and radiology. I believe that in the future, for example, a woman that comes to do MRI of the breast, the radiologist will be able to see the probable image of the histopathological slide. And this is also another breakthrough that we are working on, merging two different vision lakes of pathology and radiology. I believe that in the future, we will be able to include other data lakes, for example, the genomic data of the tumor, clinical data, and all other morphological and molecular characteristics of each disease.
So I guess by being able to do all of this, it's certainly helping with individualized treatments for patients and helping them by really treating the cancer in a better way, I guess.
Yes, this is our mission and the vision.
Certainly good news there, and let's hope that the latest development is extended to other facilities around the world as soon as possible to help more people. Amazingly, next week's podcast is the last one in August, and schools will already be back in quite a few countries, including here in sunny Scotland, where it hasn't rained for at least a day. And as long as I look in the right direction of the compass, it's looking quite good today too. I'm sure it will pour tomorrow when I'm doing my 16-kilometre sponsored walk for the local cancer hospice. I'm really looking forward to the walk though, even though it's a route I've done many times before. Not sure what the subject will be on next week's podcast, but we've already got a list together for most of September. Alright, so on that note, thanks so much for listening, and I hope wherever in the world you are, you have a great week ahead and you'll join us next time for another Beyond Biotech.